Death toll from Jigawa flooding hits 30 as thousands displaced. NLC holds emergency meeting over terrorism financing allegation. Ibeno youth protest community oil spillages, demands immediate cleanup. On the international scene, Sudan declares cholera epidemic after 22 deaths. A very good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. My name is Sakir Ibrahim. And now the details. At least 30 people have been killed with 9,366 persons displaced, while 7,379 hectares of land have been ravaged by floods across Jigawa state. Also, 4,699 houses have also been affected by the flood. Recall that NIMET predicted that Jigawa is among the states that would experience severe floods in 18 local government areas in the state. The Executive Secretary of the Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency, Haruna Miriga, says the state government is assisting those affected with food and medication which are being distributed to the IDPs. Miriga says 2 children died while others were infected with diarrhea at the Yanduna Primary School IDPs in Mega local government area and Ayo local government. He said the local government emergency committees are working to assist the victims.
His Excellency has already directed that those people that were afflicted with this flood disaster, they should be considered first in the sharing of the palliative we are distributing. That is why we are going local government to local government. We'll see, just to see how IDPs are being cared for. That is why we are following local government by local government to see the IDPs, how are they being catered for. The complaints we receive from this one is that the people that are not even be inflicted with the havoc, they are coming to benefit from their share. And it is not even enough for them to share, while people that have not been afflicted with the disease or with the disaster, they are coming to take from it. What we advise the DAC now, that is the caretaker of the local government, is to bring raw foods to them here so that they will cook it here.
And some leaders of the Nigeria Labour Congress, the NLC, including the president of the Congress, Joe Ajero, are holding an emergency National Executive Council meeting at the NLC headquarters in Abuja. The meeting comes following the summoning of Ajero by the Nigerian police force over allegations of terrorism financing, treasonable felony and cybercrime. The summon had ordered the NLC president to present himself for questioning by 10 a.m. on Tuesday. The police invitation was contained in a letter dated 19th August 2024 and signed by ACP Adamu Muazu on behalf of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team. The police also warned that a warrant of arrest would be issued if Ajero failed to comply. And meanwhile, the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, says he won't be available this Tuesday for the interview of the Nigerian police force regarding an allegation that borders on terrorism financing. The Labour leader, however, said he would honor the invitation next week, Wednesday, being August 29th, 2024, arguing that he had already scheduled other engagements for the day. On Monday at about 6 p.m., the police summoned Ajero for questioning over an alleged link to terrorism financing, cybercrime, and other allegations. This was contained in a letter issued from the Office of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team, Department of Force Intelligence. The letter, which was signed by Adamu Muazu, an Assistant Commissioner of Police, threatened that failure to honor the invitation would lead to arrest. But Ajero, speaking through a letter written to the police by his lawyer, Falana Chambers, expressed readiness to answer all questions the police officers want to pose to him during the interview on the allegations. The letter, which was signed by Samuel Ogala, for principal partner of the chamber, said Ajero was requesting the details of the allegations leveled against him. And the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission, KANSEC, said there is no going back on the cost of nomination forms earlier announced by the Commission for the conduct of local government elections in the state. Reports say there have been rumblings among political parties since the announcement of 10 million naira for candidates contesting chairmanship positions and 5 million naira for candidates contesting as councillors. But reacting to the concerns on the issue, the executive chairman of the Kano Independent Electoral Commission, KANSEC, Sani Lawan Malumfashi, said there is no going back on the amount earlier announced. KANSEC had set October 1st as the date for the commencement of sales of forms and October 18th as the date for submission of all completed forms. And insecurity troops of the multinational Joint Task Force deployed to Sector 3 Monguno in conjunction with intelligence operatives and the Civilian Joint Task Force have intercepted Boko Haram ISWAP Logistics Supply Syndicate at Cross-Kawa Market in Monguno, Borno State. A statement by the Chief Military Information Officer, MNJTF in Jemena, Chad, Lieutenant Colonel Olani Oshoba, on Tuesday said the syndicate identified as Modugana, Maman Saleh and Babagana Mukhtar were apprehended while in transit to deliver supplies to the terrorists in their enclaves. The syndicate, who confessed to being a key logistics provider for the terrorist group, were found in possession of a cache of items intended for the terrorists. Members of the syndicate are currently undergoing intense interrogation to extract further intelligence that could lead to more arrests and dismantling of terrorist logistics supply network in the Lake Chad region. And a combined team of police, military and AVG operatives have busted a criminal hideout at Umuduru in Ihiala local government area of Anambra State and rescued a kidnapped victim unhurt. The spokesperson of the Anambra State Police Command, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, who confirmed the rescue, said the operation followed the arrest of a suspect named withheld a few weeks ago. According to him, the suspect confessed to being a member of a notorious kidnap gang terrorizing the state, particularly in Ihiala. The rescued victim has been debriefed and released to the family while operations are still ongoing. And youth in Ibeno communities in Akwa Ibom State have taken to the streets to protest the recent oil spillage in the area, demanding an immediate cleanup and intervention from the International Oil Company, government and international bodies. The protesters, led by the paramount ruler of Ibeno, Effiong Achanga, and youth leaders expressed dissatisfaction with the IOC's negligence towards the host communities, citing the devastating impact of the oil spillage on their livelihood. On Tuesday, the protesters carried placards and banners chanting slogans such as "Clean up our environment now" and "We demand justice for Ibeno communities." No fewer than 27 coastal communities in the state were affected by a fresh oil spill allegedly by Mobil Producing Nigeria Limited offshore facility. The spill occurred in the early hours of late Thursday. The protesting youth said they were tired of the IOC's lack of concern for their well-being, noting that the oil spillage had destroyed their farmlands, rivers, and forests, leaving them without a source of income or food. They demanded immediate action from the IOC, government, and international bodies to address the environmental disaster. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has raised concerns over the shortage of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, affecting its members across the country amidst widespread scarcity. The umbrella body, which boasts over 3,000 members and controls a significant share of Nigeria's filling stations, also accused the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited of failing to supply adequate products to its members. The chairman of IPMAN, Ore Depo, Shino Amo, claimed that the NNPCL, as the sole importer of petroleum products, has not provided sufficient supplies to Ipman for the past 3 years, leading to a dire situation for its members. The NNPCL had, through its Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Olufemi Shoneye, stated that the oil firm was working to tackle the fuel supply challenges, stressing that the queues should clear by midweek. However, Amo, who highlighted the bureaucratic delays faced by Ipman members when dealing with NNPCL, said previously after payments, it took a week to load products, but now the process drags for 3 to 5 months. He expressed frustration over the current distribution pattern, accusing NNPCL of sidelining Ipman in favor of other groups such as Dapman and Miman. The Oyo State Fire Service on Tuesday said a fire outbreak was reported at a plaza opposite Lam Adesina Junction, Felele, Ibadan, the state capital. It said 2 churches and a furniture shop were affected. This was made known in a statement by the agency's general manager, Yemi Akinyinka. Akinyinka identified the affected churches as a parish of the Redeemed Christian Church of God and New Covenant Church. According to Akinyinka, the fire mostly affected plastic chairs and PVC materials used for ceiling decorations, which were completely burnt. And also, the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Unit says it has undertaken a cleanup exercise along the Mile 2 OK on the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway, leading to the removal of illegal shanties, roadside vendors, and confiscation of 2,000 liters of petroleum products. This was disclosed in a statement released on Tuesday by the agency's Director of Press and Public Affairs, Abdurrahim Badeyinka. Badeyinka said the exercise was needed to curb the escalating challenges posed by the roadside vendors and the proliferation of shanties in the area. He noted that the agency discovered that the roadside vendors who set up tents on the curbs were also dealing illegally in petroleum products, adding that the arrested suspects would be charged to court and the recovered items confiscated. Also, the INEC resident electoral commissioner for Ogun State, Niyi Ijalaye, is dead. The Ogun Rec slumped and died in Abuja on Monday evening after a meeting of Recs at the commission's headquarters. The cause of his death is yet unknown. A source who spoke on condition of anonymity revealed that the former resident electoral commissioner had returned to his hotel room after the meeting before the incident happened. It was further disclosed that the Ondo-born administrator, who was lively throughout the commission's meeting, retired to a hotel in the Federal Capital Territory before his death. The meeting, according to the remarks of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, which was posted on the verified timeline of the commission on Facebook, focused on 2 off-cycle governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states and 7 vacant positions in the national, state and states assemblies. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Tomato price drops further as wet season harvest begins. These and more stories after the break. Join us again. Thanks for staying with the news update on Trust Television. Now recap of our top stories again. Death toll from Jigawa flooding hits 30 as thousands displaced. And the NLC holds emergency meeting over terrorism financing allegations. And to other stories now, the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has donated 209.8 million naira to 170 primary health care centers across 27 local government areas of Borno State. Governor Zulum made the presentation during a stakeholders meeting on Basic Health Care Provision Fund in Maiduguri. The governor charged the leadership of the Primary Healthcare Development Agency and the Borno State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency to be diligent in providing quality services to the people of Borno State. He emphasized on the need for transparency and oversight to ensure that the funds are properly managed for the benefit of Borno State. The governor, while directing local government chairmen to take charge of health facilities in their domains, also announced plans to rehabilitate primary health care centers across the state for more effective and efficient health service delivery.
This is a testament to our determination to improve the healthcare system in Borno State.
Watchman and primary healthcare development agencies should declare the amount to local government chairman in written for transparency and accountability. And that under no circumstances, funds that were channeled to facilities shall be diverted to any organization.
And prices of tomatoes have reportedly crashed further following the commencement of harvest from the wet season farming. In the wake of the price fall, experts are calling on government to introduce technology in tomatoes production that will ensure smooth production of the fruit throughout the year to avoid scarcity at any time. Trust TV's Bello Musa brings details.
In Kaduna State, the price of baskets of tomatoes has reduced at the popular tomato market at Bakindogo in the Kaduna metropolis.
We thank God that the price of tomato has dropped, but we are also praying for food price to come down as well. Now, we buy baskets from 15 to 40,000 naira, depending on the types.
When the price was high, there was low patronage, as many couldn't afford it. Tomato is seasonal. This present species is normally produced during rainy season. It is normally found in the Zaria axis. According to an agric expert, Dr. Omotosho Abiodun of the Department of Agric Technology, Kaduna Polytechnic, deploying of technology in tomato production will address the challenges of scarcity at any time of the year.
You can have the structure, what we call the greenhouse. The greenhouse will be able to limit several things. They limit the amount of water that the crop will receive, limit the pests and diseases that will come in, And in some developed countries where they have automatic or well-equipped greenhouse, they can even regulate the temperature that will not permit all these diseases.
For financial expert and public affairs commentator Ahmed Altini, agricultural production in the north needs political will from the leaders of the region for it to be developed.
I think particularly, for example, those of us who are in the agriculturally endowed northern Nigeria, our governors need to sit down and look at what policy initiatives are they going to leverage in order to improve the living conditions of their people. I have no doubt that with agriculture, then definitely we should be able to do a lot for our people. So, but we need the right policies to be in place so that we can prioritize what are we going to do in the 4 years for a tenure in terms of agricultural output.
According to traders, government policy did not affect the present tomato price fall, but rather seasonal harvest. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And on the international scene, Sudan faces a new challenge in the midst of a 16-month conflict between the military and a paramilitary group known as health authorities declared a cholera epidemic. Health Minister Haitham Mohamed Ibrahim said 22 people have died and 354 cases of the disease have been confirmed across the country in recent weeks. The World Health Organization said recently that 78 deaths from cholera were recorded in Sudan between the 1st of January and 28th of July this year. Seasonal floods in recent weeks have exacerbated the situation with critical infrastructure washed away in 12 of Sudan's 18 provinces, making access to clean water difficult for many. Ibrahim said Said blamed the outbreak on weather conditions and contamination of drinking water. The conflict in Sudan has further battered what was an already weak healthcare system, displaced more than 10 million people, and pushed many into starvation. And the world's oldest living person, Spain's Maria Brainas Morera, who was born in the United States and lived through 2 world wars, has died at the age of 117, her family said on Tuesday. Brainas, who had lived for the last 2 decades in the Santa Maria del Tura nursing home in the town of Olot in northeastern Spain, had warned in a post on Tuesday that she felt weak. The time is near. Don't cry. I don't like tears. And above all, don't suffer for me. Wherever I go, I will be happy, she added to the account, which is run by her family. Guinness World Records officially acknowledged Brainas' status as the world's oldest person in January 2023, following the death of French nun Lucille Randon, aged 118. In the wake of Brainas' death, the oldest living person in the world is Japan's Tomiko Itoka, who was born on May 23, 1908, and is 116 years old, according to the U.S. Gerontology Research Group. And in sports, Nigeria under-20 women's national team will face Mexico and Australia in warm-up matches in preparation for the FIFA under-20 Women's World Cup. This was revealed by the Nigeria Football Federation President Ibrahim Gusau last weekend. The Falconets left Nigeria for Colombia for 2 weeks preparations before the commencement of the FIFA age grade tournament. The FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup takes place in Colombia from 31st August to 22nd September 2024. It will be the first iteration of the tournament with an expanded 24-team format. Nigeria are in Group D with Germany, Venezuela, and Korea Republic. Nigeria will start their campaign against Korea Republic on Monday, September 2nd, before taking on Germany 2 days later on the 4th of September, while the last match against Venezuela holds on the 7th. And Thierry Henry has resigned as coach of France's under-21 team after leading the squad to an Olympic silver medal in Paris earlier this month. The 47-year-old, who was under contract until next summer, decided to step down after just 1 year in the role. Henry considers winning the silver medal at the Olympic Games for his country one of the greatest achievements of his life. He is deeply thankful to the Federation, the players, the staff, and the supporters who made the experience possible. Before taking on the France under-21 position, Henry served as an assistant coach for Belgium and held managerial roles at Monaco and Major League Soccer's Montreal Impact. And on a sad note, a retired political scientist with the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, Professor Raufu Ayode Dumoye, is dead. He died in the early hours of Tuesday after an illness, aged 74, leaving behind a wife and 6 children. Family sources said his funeral prayer will be held at Muinuddin Islamic Society Mosque, Sabon Gari, Zaria, on Wednesday afternoon. Prof. Dumoye, until his retirement from active service in ABU, was one of the oldest professors who had produced 47 PhD holders and over 100 master's students. He served in the Department of Political Science and International Studies of ABU and a 1-year sabbatical at the Nigeria Defense Academy, NDA, Kaduna. Dumoye was internationally recognized as a great scholar and an icon in the area of political science and political economy. Born in 1950, Professor Dumoye hailed from Kwara State but spent the best part of his life in Zaria. And that wraps up the news update at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.